Okay, this video is going to be a little short, but I just wanted to give you an update so far. So as you can see in there, that's the tweeter, the crossover network that I've hot glued down to the bottom. And I've also soldered the wires to the places where they go, because if you remember, I labeled everything. But even then, to be safe, I also labeled the wires themselves, so I'm being extra thorough. So I have my negative to the tweeter, negative to the woofer, positive to the woofer, and then the negative and the positive to the tweeter, coming out of the appropriate holes and out of the back. Pardon the mess. I have the negative the two wires that go to the negative terminal. I twisted them together, and then the positive that goes to the terminal. You also notice I put the no res in. It's peel and stick. It's very easy. You can see my cuts are absolutely horrendous, but it doesn't matter. You just want to line. The outer cabinets of it as much as you can. On this side, I left a little space on the bottom, because the 5x7 panels seem to go a little bit too wide. It would have pushed into the no res on the bottom. So I might put a smaller piece down there just to fill in the gap. But right now, I just want to see if this works. So that's the update so far. At this stage, you take everything out, and it's important to note that when you're taking out the woofer here, it comes with this ring here. You have to very carefully pull this off before you can take the screws of the woofer off. I used a very, very tiny screwdriver, and I was very, very gentle with it. However, I would recommend that you use some kind of soft pry tool if you have one floating around. Now, when you're doing the tweeter, this is the part that goes over. This is just kind of held on by these little things. So if you just kind of pull on it gently but assertively, I guess you could say, this will separate. Where the hell is the tweeter? This will separate. I don't know where the tweeter is, but this will separate from the tweeter. Oh, there's the tweeter. This will separate from the tweeter here. It peels off, then you'll see the screws there, and then you take off the screws, and this pulls right out of the front like so. So that's how you pull everything apart. This, if you want to see something at least remotely interesting in this mini update video here, that is the old crossover network, and that is the new crossover network. As you can see, definitely some upgraded parts, and although definitely different. You know what I mean? Because there's definitely an additional capacitor in there. Oh, resistors. There's an extra resistor in the line. So it's definitely kind of similar, but definitely different, which is probably explains why it sounds so differently according to every single person that has done a comparison video. So that's the mini update for here. Stay tuned, and probably the next video is going to be the speaker assembled, and then I'm just going to test the first speaker to make sure I'm doing everything right before I go through all the trouble with the second one. All right, so a small addendum to this video in terms of where I am in assembling this. This is one of the things I took off the speaker. This is where the terminals were. I removed one set of terminals by unscrewing these, which gives it a little bit of a fist fight. That blue stuff, I think, is some kind of a Loctite or something to that degree, which means you got to twist that while also holding them with a wrench so it doesn't spin. So it's a mild pain, but it's not hard. You take two of them off, right? So these are the two I took off here. You remove the metal bridge thingies that are on the outside here, because this is where the tube connectors are going to go. And in order for the tube connectors to go in, you need to drill these holes out wider to 7/16 of an inch. Do not just break out a 7/16 inch drill and go right to 7/16. Go to a size between the hole where it is and 7/16. I used a 3/8 bit as my in-between, right? So I'm going from 3/8 to 7/16, which in retrospect was probably closer. It is only a 16th of an inch difference, but I guess it's enough, because the 3/8 bit got through here. Do it slowly, do it very carefully. You know what I mean? Just center the drill bit right on the existing hole, and just screw away, for lack of a better phrase, and you'll be good to go. I will be doing the 7/16 drill bit next to make the hole wide enough, and then I'll probably record a little something about how I'm putting the tube connectors in, just to be thorough. Okay, there it is, the 7/16 holes that the tube connectors will go in. Definitely go as a step-up drill bit. Go with something smaller than 3/8, because that is literally 6/16. And yeah, like I did the 7/16 drill bit, and it you know, like it was barely even an effort to go that extra step. So there's definitely a better increment in the middle that is significantly smaller than 3/8. So, you know, find it. You don't have to be a surgeon with this. You know, you just don't want to go right to the 7/16, because while me jumping to 3/8 was luckily not a disaster, the chances of it being a disaster if you screw up with the drill are significantly higher. So, you know, use a step-up drill bit. Even smaller than, say, what's smaller than 3/8? Maybe a 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch will probably be good. So if you do the 7/16 inch hole right, I know Danny mentions using a little bit of crazy glue just to hold it down, but I'm gonna be honest, I just pushed this bad boy in and it clicks in and it's in there very snug. So right now I'm not going to glue it. I'm just gonna push it in. It fights in pretty good. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for now. If it gives me grief after I'm using it, if I hear it vibrate or anything, then I'll crazy glue it down, but I'm gonna leave it like that. So you just saw me push that one in. You know, I'm keeping the red obviously and the negative on the same sides as they were before. Again, this will not be a bi-amp situation. I'm gonna do what Danny recommends, which is solder a jumper from here to here, or I can even do it on the other side if I really wanted to. But if you do it on this side here, from what he says, you know, you'll be able to use either one of the two. You don't use both if they're jumped. Obviously, that would be, you know, you don't want to try to bi-amp when they're bridged. That would be an absolute disaster. So, you know, you lock into the fact that if you do it this way, you're only using one set of terminals at the time, and if you alternate between the two terminals with the you know, with the old binding posts and the new tube connectors, you're going to hear a significant difference. Now, the school of thought is a lot of these connectors here, what you're soldering to, everything that holds this down and assembled, is made out of steel. You know, you'll see them use a magnet. Put a magnet up to it, it'll stick, and that is like universally, I guess, considered a terrible thing to have in your signal chain. Getting anything steel out of it is a good move, which is why I'm not using, you know, spade connectors, which I have used in past speaker projects. I'm just going to be soldering the copper of the cables directly to this, and then you know, soldering another cable from here and then into this. We'll go from there. So stay tuned.